By the time I reached my desk that morning, the email was already waiting. Your role has been terminated, effective immediately. I'm Marcus Vale, and for 15 years I'd built Avalon Uniform's Northern Division from a rundown storefront into their crown jewel, driving $4.5 million in annual revenue, not through flashy pitches or corporate jargon, but with integrity and relationships. I knew every major client's preferences, their families, even their quirks. When Julian Levi, our new CEO fresh from Ivy League boardrooms, strode in that morning, he never asked about the quarterly calls I led with Harborview Trust or why Crestline Properties insisted on me managing their contracts. He didn't care that we'd averaged 20% growth while every other region flatlined. He only cared about cost-cutting. The HR liaison, Selena, wouldn't meet my eyes as security escorted me back to my office. Colleagues passed with downcast gazes. Dominic, the CFO, patted my shoulder awkwardly before hurrying off. I packed slowly, a framed sketch from the Crestline retreat, a thank you card from Harborview's CEO praising my midnight delivery, family photos of my daughter's dance recitals. 15 years distilled into one cardboard box. Walking to my car, I expected relief. No more 4 a.m. flights, no more fire drills. But instead, I felt hollow outrage. I joined Avalon when they were still figuring out corporate uniforms. Tasked with rescuing a money-losing unit, I spent my early days driving prospect to prospect, listening to complaints of missed deadlines and subpar fabric. I fixed every issue, hiring talent like Lena, whose customer-first instincts saved $1 million account, and Ethan, whose designs revolutionized our sizing standards. My wife, Sophia, endured every late-night call and weekend crisis with unwavering faith. While I built a legacy she believed in, 3 CEOs had come and gone, and each recognized the value of what we created. Now, as the glass tower receded in my rearview mirror, I realized the fight wasn't over. Not by a long shot. My division consistently led in growth and retention, until last year's upheaval. Apex Holdings acquired us, installed their own board, and shifted focus to spreadsheets over people. Julian arrived with efficiency experts whose metrics ignored the human glue that held our business together. Acquisition costs meant everything. Genuine relationships, nothing. 2 weeks before my termination, Julian demanded a full report on major accounts. I compiled contract values, renewal dates, projected upsells, everything quantifiable. What I omitted was the 3 a.m. warehouse inspection I conducted for Crestline, or the dozen late calls I took to calm Harborview through a logistics nightmare. When Julian's assistant booked our meeting for 10 minutes, I'd seen that script before, but never believed it would end with me out the door. The morning after being let go, I sat in my home office, no corporate email, no Slack pings. Sophia brought me coffee, squeezed my hand. "What are you thinking?" she asked. I wasn't angry, just calm. I opened my personal Rolodex, not the CRM controlled by Avalon, but 14 years' worth of genuine contacts. Names, direct lines, personal emails. At 9:30, Diane from Harborview called. "Marcus, we got the mass email about restructuring," she said, voice tight. "Please tell me you're not affected." I took a breath. "I was let go yesterday." Her silence spoke volumes. "Who's handling our account now?" "They haven't said." "Last renewal only happened because of you. You always fixed problems before they became issues." I told her the truth. Yes, I'm gone. No transition plan. Yes, I'm exploring next steps. "Can I call you back?" "Of course." By afternoon, alerts flooded in. Harold at Crestline worried about their upcoming rollouts. Michael from North Shore Bank and Stephanie at Evergreen Health echoed the same concern. "We only signed because of you." That evening, I built my own spreadsheet, not of clients, but of opportunities, firms that had tried to recruit me, industry contacts, even consulting leads I'd mentored. 4 years, I built bridges for Avalon. Now I faced a choice: burn them or forge new ones for myself. 3 days later, Julian's panic calls hit voicemail. On day 4, curiosity got the better of him. Marcus, Sunshore and Crestline threatened to leave. Interested in consulting to steady the ship? A generous offer, but I'd already planted seeds elsewhere. That night, Daniel Thompson of Summit Ridge Outfitters, who'd courted me twice, called. "They're lost," he said. And just like that, my next chapter began. Summit Ridge sent formal offer letters to my core 5, and one by one, they resigned from Avalon. Monday morning, Julian showed up unannounced at my home garage. "Marcus, we need to talk. The board's panicking, key people quitting, clients threatening. This has gone too far." I wiped grease from my hands. "I've accepted another position." He blanched. "That violates your non-compete." "Summit Ridge isn't restricted," I replied. "My lawyer confirmed it yesterday." "You'll reconsider," he begged. "We'll beat any offer." I closed the hood. It's never been about money. What I want is respect for 14 years of building something meaningful. A real conversation, not a 10-minute dismissal. I want my team protected, not laid off to boost margins. His face tightened as I mentioned the restructuring plan. "That was scenario planning," he stammered. "Goodbye, Julian," I said. "Ask yourself which will cost shareholders more, letting me leave quietly, or a public legal battle over why your major clients and top talent walked out together." He had no answer. 1 week later, I started at Summit Ridge. 2 weeks after, my 6-month non-compete expired. Within a month, 4 of my 5 major clients signed with Summit Ridge, each explicitly requesting me as their account manager. I never badmouthed Avalon, I didn't need to. 6 months into my new role, Daniel knocked on my door with a tablet. Online, Avalon uniforms, CEO Julian Levi steps down amid 18% revenue Mississippi. The Northern Division had lost nearly 40% of its business since I left. "Not surprised," I said. "You can't build relationships on spreadsheets." Later, Avalon's CFO messaged on LinkedIn, "Board meeting tomorrow to discuss recovery. Your name came up. Interested?" No reply from me. I finalized our quarterly presentation for Harborview Trust, 2 weeks early, glowing feedback, new referrals. Jerry Campbell called. "Avalon stock down 22%. They're trying to sell the Northern Division, reaching out to you through back channels." "Who's buying?" "No takers yet. They think you're the only one who can stabilize it." I thanked him and focused on Summit Ridge's growth. That evening, I opened an email from Eleanor Barnes, Avalon board chair. "Marcus, we made a grave error. Would you return as CEO? Complete autonomy, equity stake, board seat. Name your terms." I closed the laptop. Next morning, I told my Summit Ridge team. Avalon approached me. "I'm declining." Keith nodded. Figured they'd come begging. Janice smiled. "Too little, too late." "Exactly," I said. "We're building something better." Later, I sent Eleanor a note. "Thank you, but I'm committed to Summit Ridge. Wishing Avalon the best." 3 days later, the press release. Summit Ridge acquires Avalon's Northern Division, reuniting key talent with client relationships. They paid pennies for what once was Avalon's crown jewel. 1 year from my termination, I drove by the old Avalon office at dusk. The Summit Ridge logo crowned the building. Inside, we'd rehired staff cut under Julian and recovered 3 more clients. Under Summit Ridge, Northern Division revenue hit record highs, proof that authentic relationships, not line items on spreadsheets, are the foundation of lasting success.